Welcome back, YouTube. This should be part 4 on YouTube. If you're like the chatter, and maybe didn't see the beginning of the video, I'll have these going up on YouTube after the Frostpunk 1 videos all go live, and after the last video in the Path of Exile series I put up. If you want to see the earlier sections. If you're watching it on Twitch in 7 days after this was originally viewed, it should still be up on Twitch. But by the time it's no longer up on Twitch, it will be up on YouTube. And for the moment, everything's going okay. We do have basically perpetual shortages of things. The only thing we don't have a shortage of is coal. We have plenty of coal. As I'm realizing we've got so much coal, I should probably turn the heat down. Okay. Basically just went ahead and turned a coal mine off to conserve some coal. Looming cold. Yeah, people are complaining that the cold is high, and the cold is high because we don't have enough housing. We have a housing shortage. So they're not actually complaining about it from a Okay, so I grabbed all the ravine space over there. Okay. Still think I can make this work pretty well. So we do something like that to be 3 next to that housing district. Something like that to be 3 next to that housing district. We'll probably start off with that. And then we can try to do... Okay, so I'm getting expansions to be adjacent to this one. I don't know if I can expand it enough to be adjacent to that one, get the bonuses with being adjacent to that one. So 2 over here would be adjacent over there. Gives me 1, 2... Oh, I might be able to get the adjacency bonus for this next to the city, but maybe not the housing that we're on. But yeah, I think that's a good start. So drop that housing down. It is Frostpunk, it is cold. For the for the people living in our city, it's cold. So let's try to get them housed so they can stay warm. We do have the scout team out there looking for better fuel, but right now we don't need fuel for another 260 weeks. Oh, and we are out of materials, so we really need to get that material problem solved. Researching sawmills. I really should stop trying to get the perfect extraction going and get an extraction going there. So we try to sort the material problem out. So how is the material problem actually? What's the problem with the material extraction right now? So we got we're short 120. So who's being shorted?
The stalwarts will announce the name of this month's top worker at tonight's muster.
Or is it driving? Probably driving a bad situation somewhere. Destined to the cold. Okay, so obviously I need to sort the housing problem out, because that's where that's coming from, is we don't have adequate housing. So untreated sawmills. So that costs 80 heat stamps, would increase material production by 170. Okay, so I only need one of those active. So let's get that next up, and then we do housing. Especially because the housing I want to do needs 2 house breaking or 2 frost breaking over there. I suppose I probably am also going to be building new districts over here for size. Because I'm just going to need it, so... Oh yeah, I'm going to need it for size as well, right? So... Do I have the heat stamps? I do have the heat stamps for the base building. So let's actually get the base building down. Two housing districts. That'll get us a lot of the way in the correct direction. So they'll both get the bonuses off of each other. So that's 20. If you get them fully expanded, they're 30 each. Yeah, so I'm basically gonna have to. Well, I don't have to, but I'm going to expand all those districts. Okay. Did you go? Oh, because we got this expansion. So we're only short 20. I'm gonna roll with the minus 20 with the materials. At least until we can get the. Oh, please don't freeze.
Are now officially recognized by the city.
And we now have a new political party. We've got the opposite of order, which in this case is the Pilgrims. So if you win order, you'll get the Pilgrims. You get a different faction if you win Faith Keepers. So you get the religious anti to the Stalwarts order if you win order in the earlier event, or vice versa. And basically, it's just swapping religion and order on these two. I think these otherwise have the same traits. Oh, and I need to pass durable goods before I forget. So we have a request to pass durable goods, and I think that is probably a good thing to do. And this is so prone to passing without me bribing it that I'm just going to hope that it does pass, because it should pass.
The delegates have spoken. The law takes effect.
Okay. Law passes. So we get some improvements to the Frostlanders. Trust rises because we promised that the Frostlanders. And in theory, that's making the squalor coming from shortage of goods go down. Well, no, actually, no. Squalor is caused by shortage of materials. Shortage of goods is driving crime, so that'll reduce the crime a bit. Well, the crime growth a bit. We still need to sort that housing problem. So that'll be a big step. That'll be 40 to 40 of what I need done. I need to do some more frost breaking. And annoyingly, I can't sort of fuse these, so these are going to have to be two separate jobs. So that's more than I need over there, but I'm going to have to do more than I need over there, and similar here, I'm going to do more than I need over here. We have adequate food, so I'm going to actually turn the food down a bit. Yeah, turn it down a bit. We're going to the coal supply, so I should turn the backup mine up a bit. Oh, and it looks like it's going to get colder, so I'm just going to turn this mine on to full. We'll pre-stockpile a little bit of coal, which is making the material scarcity worse. Of course it is. I need to keep making you bigger, and you bigger, as the frost times come in. And I could potentially request these guys give me money, but they're not. The ones that I could just promote really easily don't have really much money. I am still tempted to Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of a hit because I need some money. Give me some money so we can
Do
actually
not
go about fixing
succumb
these problems.
to wasteful fashion. A well-made coat is always in style.
Alright. Cross breaking looks done, so if that's done, then I missed one of the tiles I needed to do. Of course I did. Of course I missed one of the tiles I needed to do. One, two. Okay, and I can't get that one until well. Did I miss a tile? Nope, I don't think I missed a tile. Okay. So I can only get one of the heat bonuses that I was thinking of getting. Okay. I only need two over there. So if that's the case, I can probably just expand in that direction. And then we'll do some more frost breaking before I forget that I need to do it. And we are going to want to get to that node at some point, probably. We'll just do a cut across here. Technology. Need to keep technology going. We are getting colder and colder, so let's do asbestos lining. It's really the only choice here. No one's really opposed to it. But that will raise the base heating in all the housing districts, which will allow us to save on some coal. Also, I now have the ability to do untreated sawmills. We'll set one of those up. That should solve the material shortage. I'm probably going to make it again by coming in here and going, I probably also want a mechanical factory. In fact, I so suspect it's going to cause a problem that I'm going to build a second untreated. Like that. Hopefully that should deal with our shortage problems by building those factories. Oh, and the exploration's going, so I should go see what the exploration result is done, so I should see what the result was. Okay, so we found a new area. We found oil. So oil's the alternative we can get to coal in this game. In theory, it is more efficient. So we can remove the bodies, or we can respect the dead. I'm going to go ahead and go with the remove the bodies, because I know of no reason why not removing the bodies is... Wait, that's actually bad, other than, okay, we're doing some desecration. We got a couple other vents here, so we can come back later, or we can salvage some parts, so we can send 5 members to deal with that. Oh, and I need to do the oil setup for that as well. Okay. So let's do some path connection. Wait, is that the right spot? Yeah. Okay, how do I... Is it right-click the place? No. Oh, because the very difficult terrain makes it hard to place. Okay. So I could hook it there, but that doesn't actually take us to the city. I only got one way into the city right now, so we can just do like so. So that gets us connected to the city. And that's my frost teams going and making that road right now. Okay, so back to the city.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
It is colder, and Don't actually have... Good thing I have fuel stockpiles, because we don't generate enough heat otherwise. So as we can set the blasting coal mine up on the second one. Okay, so we're gonna have to do something about squalor and crime at some point, probably. Disease is fine. We don't have a hunger problem. And obviously, if it doesn't, well, it's going to warm up, so we don't have a problem on that issue. But if we didn't have it warming up soon, we might potentially run into a fuel problem if we don't get the oil set up. So, paid essentials or free essentials? Do I want trust to be slowly rising, or do I want more heat, SAMs, and more production efficiency? I just spent a bunch of trust, right? Recently getting a bunch of heat stamps. So let's actually do trust rise and see if that passes. I don't think this is important enough to try bribing the council for it, so I'll let it pass or fail on its own merits. So it passes. And I didn't promise anyone that, so that's good. And that should mean that now over time we're getting more trust. Working on improving the fuel. Let's, before I forget to do it, continue to expand the housing districts. And get that heating bonus there. So those two expansions should bring us up to having everyone housed. We have enough food, we have enough materials currently, we have enough goods currently. So the only thing we're short on is fuel. And we're only short on it temporarily until it warms up again, though it's not going to stay that warm for very long. So that's what we need to be starting to think about, is how can we improve warmth. And this prefab location is empty, so we're going to disassemble that prefab. No, not expand, disassemble. So we want to demolish. Yes, demolish. Sadly, there is no more prefabs there. That probably also means I want to be trying to find... Do we have more prefab locations? Or did we deplete the prefab stockpiles? Those prefabs. Those are prefabs. Okay, so we got prefabs there. The rest is going to be... Yeah, so once we deplete the next batch of prefabs, I think we have to build them out of materials, which would require another industrial district. But as it is, we actually need to frostbreak into these ruins first. Is the second one going? The second one is got its blast mine up. So I could try increasing extraction, but increasing extraction on these would obviously make them deplete faster, which would be the worrisome thing about increasing these reductions. How much do we have in reserve? We probably have enough to make it till when it warms up.
This week's free essentials allocation.
So we just got housing insulation, which has reduced the heat requirements on all our housing districts. So as we do the same, looks like we can do the same on... Yeah, we can do the same for our food districts as well. So let's do that next, is the food districts. So our fuel goes longer. Oh, so it's like 10 days out? Yeah, we're cutting it a bit close with that, with the fuel requirements. Which makes it even more tempting to potentially do an expansion. Ah, but I didn't, Did I do expand off of that one and not expand off of this one? I tried to expand off of this one. Not, oh, I don't have enough tiles to expand the district. Okay. So let's get the prefab going while we're thinking about it. And then let's start doing frost breaking so we can do that expansion. So I'm gonna want, so right now we've got one connecting these, one between these two. If we do expansion, we might want to set it up so that they can, oh, okay. Okay, I can't do both sides. But we might want to have it set up so they can, in theory, get the 3 adjacency off of each other to lower their heat requirements. I think technically there would do it, so if I expanded this one, did 1, 2, 3, this one would have 3 next to that one, which would have 3 next to that one. Okay, so I think that's actually fine. And we're going to start frost breaking down into here, because this will be a good place for more housing later on. So housing's good, food is good, materials is good and rising. The only thing we're short on is fuel, because the frost lands are cold. Okay, we used up the entire stockpile of fuel, so we're short 76 heat. So that probably means that cold will begin to rise. Hopefully that doesn't cause anything bad shortly. We've got minor disease, minor squalor, minor crime. So maybe some of those are stuff I should start working on trying to reduce as well. Oh, I could start deploying teaching hospitals. Well, that would make the heating problem worse. Okay, so let's not do that because that would make the heating problem worse. Oh, I suppose that's something I could do, is I can turn down the material supply. Not stockpile as fast to reduce heating requirements. Oh, no, I do want... Well, we have a stockpile of that, of like 17,000, so that's probably actually fine. I'll tolerate that, that'll work. It's not enough, but it's a good step in the right direction. And then we can do that. That combo will probably get us to the heat requirement. Okay, what happened? Caused the materials to go. Material demand to go up. Something caused the material demand to go up, which means I'm gonna have to turn. I don't want to be losing them that quickly, so we're gonna pick one of you up. Got 107 weeks. Oh, and I need to pay a little bit more attention. It doesn't do quite a job, Frostpunk 1 in telling you when your teams are ready to do things. Requires 20 Frostland teams and 1 core. So that's where we're gonna get the core from once those guys are done. And let's come back later. Okay. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Safe, but requires 10 teams. Safe, but requires 10 teams. Okay. At some point I will need more teams, I think, to explore faster and better. Okay, so that expansion is done. Could still use more fuel, but that should be good enough until we get the oil going. And I suppose that would allow me to put another mine here, which would make me deplete this faster. If I was really desperate to have more heat without more source of supplies. So that's an event related to having family apprentices. probably at the point where I should be frost breaking more. Just to preemptively get things open. So we're gonna probably want to have housing down there at some point. At some point we're gonna probably want to have that expedition site. And we're gonna want these farms. In this expedition site. There's still some more mining locations I can clear out over here with frost breaking, if I'm thinking about it. I don't need to get the deep deposit right now. I suppose we can also go down and get this crevice available as well for more housing later if we need more housing. Okay, so I think that's all the frost breaking. Well, there's a little bit more up north that we probably do, but I think that's all the frost breaking we need to do, or want to do, shortly.
The Pilgrims welcome anyone willing to learn heat suit layering and sewing methods.
So in theory, we're just about to warm up, and once we warm up, that will give us the ability to turn up the mineral deposits so we can get more minerals going. Are they done? Making a salvage. Oh, that requires 20 teams, so I need to get another set of teams. Okay. Well, for the moment, let's get the 10 teams out exploring. The easiest way to get more teams is going to be either to expand one of our outposts or build a new one. I think I'm going to go with the build a new one option. Heat demand is decreased. Yay! And now we're up to plus 200, so what I'm going to do, now that it's warm enough, I'm going to get our extractors extracting. So we can build up a stockpile of materials. Because now we don't need to be as conservative with the fuel. And we've got the workers. So we've got plenty of food. I suppose I can start stockpiling food as well. So let's start stockpiling food. And that basically tells us where we're going to need to expand if we get more people, we're going to need more goods, and we're going to need more housing. And we are, whether we want to or not, we're going to be expanding shortly, because the population's starting to grow. We're approaching the point of the next census. And we have another event. Okay, so we supposedly have tension rising throughout the city due to not having done anything to prevent the spread of disease. Comboed with the fact that we have disease. So having disease and not dealing with it is causing disease or causing tension. If I had work, oh, so I suppose that's one problem with getting everyone out working all the jobs is now we don't have them available to work a research institute. So that might actually be. I might actually pull back in a little bit. So for example, I might turn you. Turn that one off. Turn that one off. That should now give us enough labor to work a teaching hospital. Which will get us more research speed and will get us some more disease reduction. I think we got what we want there. They're harping on contagion prevention. Don't really need that right now. Right, so we could do infectious badge, which, okay, we're gaining tension because we haven't dealt with disease, but if we dealt with disease by gaining tension, that's not a good trade-off for us. And I don't want to build the more housing districts right now, so neither of those really work for us. Yeah, let's do... I'm going to try avoiding people dying, so we're going to go with harvesting funerals. Let's try to avoid people dying. See if that passes. I'm not going to... Just using the raw bully pulpit of being the steward here to pass it, without having to bribe people. Which, on the difficulty I'm working on, which is the base difficulty, that seems to work. Higher difficulties, you might not be able to do that. Okay, so this is where I'm going to go ahead and put another cut for YouTube, and if you're on Twitch, this is where I'm going to take a short stretch break for myself, so there's nothing going to be happening on the stream for a couple minutes while I stretch. So, if you're on YouTube, there'll probably be another video after this, because we're nowhere near done. We are getting pretty close to the end of the chapter, so we're about to finish Chapter 1. Because I know Chapter 1 ends when we get that 75 oil being transferred to New London. And if you're on Twitch, after my quick stretch break, we'll be probably back for Part 5. So, catch you all in a bit.